it's that time of year again when the new year will quickly be upon us. And I have a question. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Or are you planning on winging it this year? And I'm not saying that I believe in mummy's curses, but I think that we should let sleeping ancient Egyptians and South Americans lie, just in case. Just, I am a big fan of history. I'm a big fan of science and research and all that other wonderful stuff, but also I think that preserving history and preserving the integrity of a civilization is also important. However, I can understand, and I mean, you want to go in there and you want to figure out what people ate, how they ate, you want to see certain things, like, well, if people had, say, food allergies, or, for example, or could not eat wheat products, you want to kind of see how the bones developed, what they did in times of famine, think how well they aged, etc., barring any event such as volcanoes erupting. So it's difficult, because while I want to know all of these things, I also think that we should possibly tiptoe, just in case. Did Horus send you to vex me? And it's a very difficult decision. And, okay, so back to the original question. Do you have resolutions? If so, what are your steps towards getting where you need to be? Do you have a list of steps, or are you just gonna wing it that way? Like, oh, well, I want to go to the gym more often, so I'll buy myself a gym membership or a Fitbit, or I will do this, and this. And granted, you can get exercise by finding a longer way to the dairy aisle, or, having a dance marathon in the living room, for example. But, I mean, how are you going about this thing? Are you giving yourself a grace period, etc., etc.? And I highly suggest that in the making of any goal, that yes, you hold yourself responsible, but you give yourself grace, which a lot of people forget about. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's been a long day, and I did 3.5 miles this morning, so apparently I'm tired. So anyway, so now we have that out of the way, those big plans to improve yourself, and maybe start them a little bit earlier, a little bit later, so that you're not just rushing in with woohoo, Happy New Year, and finding yourself exhausted because you've overworked yourself. Or do you plan to walk into the new year with optimism, but not really putting yourself to a set I haven't had a lot of caffeine today. I did buy myself a hot chocolate while I was getting my meds. Okay, Do you have anything else? Any big plans or little plans? Like, are you going to teach yourself maybe about the stock market or Bitcoin, which I was curious about, but I saw someone really struggle with it. Oh, I slept, for goodness sake. And quite frankly, I would rather eat my own eyeball than go through what they went through. So it'll be stonks. Okay, so do you intend to research and put some things aside for the future and maybe save up for something? For me, it's a car. And a passport, and but my biggest goal is, rather than saying I'm trying to or I want to, is to say I am, and if pressed, maybe say, well, this is how I'm doing it for now, but if you have a general idea, you know, I'm all ears. Oh, good. I am so sorry. And I know that a lot of you might yell at me because now you're doing it. You know what? I slept. I thought I was wide awake. But I did just eat lunch, and I think I've got the digestive sleepies. So rather than I want to, I'm trying to. So this is what I'm doing. Or, yeah, I did, but I found that my heart wasn't in it. So now I'm doing this. But, you know, give yourself a chance and give yourself a grace period before you say, no, I cannot. And not just saying, oh, I can't. I'm no good at this. I'm no good. I can't. Okay. This is not my forte, but I've discovered that I can do this, 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 and this. And look at the good that I can do. Of course, there's other things. You know, there's the big things, there's the little things, and then there's the ridiculous things that were just for me, just because sometimes you can use a dose of something silly just for yourself, and it's not that silly. I will rest more. I will rest better. I will figure out what the heck, because sometimes it feels like the more you attempt or the more that you go through the rituals, the more you amp yourself up. So, yeah. Let's go with Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. Find something to keep myself entertained and educated while waiting for my classes to start. Don't give myself a hard time if I feel like I'm not doing as well as I feel like I should have. So those are my biggies. Everything else will come in due time. Okay, so you are loved. Have a blessed 2020. Let's take it easy on ourselves. Let's be patient. And I say this knowing that I am giving myself a difficult time right now because I'm not doing some things that I feel need to be done a certain way because I never really learned how not to be a perfectionist and how not to be a bit of an asshole when I feel like I need to do this thing over here this way. And above all, go easy and gently on yourself.